everyone, my name is Z, and today we are talking about PSD imports. So there's many ways to import images in Harmony, and I know it can get confusing to kind of select which one you want. So today, let's get a bit more familiar with this window. Just a little disclaimer, I'm talking about importing PSDs, but you don't necessarily need Photoshop to export PSDs. You can work in Clip Studio Paint or other softwares, but still export as a PSD, so just so you know. Usually when we use backgrounds as PSDs is because we want to keep them easy to edit and to have multiple layers at the same time. So instead of exporting all of your layers as different PNGs and then importing them into software, what you can do is take a Photoshop file with a background, like this one, that was made by my lovely friend Emleth, which you can find on Twitter and on many other sites. I'm gonna link it into the description. I really hope you go and give that guy a shout out because he was very generous to lend me this painting so that I can show you some features. So you can see here in my Photoshop file, I have different layers. I'm using layers, but you could also use smart objects. You know, when you take some layers and you right click to convert them to a smart object, Harmony will still treat that as a layer, just so you know. You can also deal with groups as layer, but this is usually for either props that have multiple views or like puppets. If you have a puppet made in Harmony, made in Photoshop and you want to import it in Harmony, you know, you can use like the group will become a layer and all the drawings inside the group will become frames. Okay, so I'm just showing you this so that it makes a bit more sense when I'm talking about the import later. Alright, so I have all my layers here. The reason why I open my file is also to make sure that everything is alright. And by everything is normal, I mean that you know that your artwork is okay, but also your naming. Be careful and only use like regular characters and try to avoid anything weird like asterisks or something like that. You can check the documentations to get all the details, but I do know that it's better to use only letters, underscore, dash, and all that, so that works. But try to keep any weird characters like accents or weird letters out of this because any software usually have problems with that. So keep that naming clean. Here my gradient layer has a blending mode set to screen. This will be important in a few minutes when I show you in Harmony. This will be important in a few moments when I show you the result in Harmony. I'm gonna collapse this and go back to my software, and I'm gonna show you how to import your background from scratch. And to do that, I'll also get rid of my background. Alright, so super easy. Now you just go to File, Import, and then you use your brain. Then you select Images, and then you go to Browse to find your file. I'm gonna take it here, it's on my desktop. Then for the create layers, it just depends on what you want, like create one single layer named something you name here, or if you want to follow the naming of your original file, which is usually what I prefer, you can also press there. And if you want to know more, you can also just put your cursor on top of the options and you're gonna have even more information. So always useful. And then for the import options, there's 3, and this is usually where people ask questions because they don't know what's going on with the world. And to that I answer because I love to make tutorials, but I also want to make you more responsible as artists. So always go get the documentations when you tackle a new feature. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go on the internet and find the documentation for the import dialog box. I will also link it into the description so you can check it out. But here you're gonna find the import options. So we have keep as original bitmap, Toon Boom bitmap drawing, and Toon Boom vector drawing. So I mean, I know it by heart, so I'm just gonna tell you, but I still want you to be responsible enough to go check the documentations yourself because this will make you better artists as a whole. So what I'm gonna show you today is the keep as original bitmap. This is very important for background art because this will keep a link between your original PSD file and Harmony, so that if you change something in your PSD file and you reopen Harmony, the change will take place also in Harmony, so it will update automatically without you having to re-import the images and stuff. So very, very useful. The keep as original bitmap works with PSDs, but also PNGs. It works with most kind of image. It's just that typically we use it with PSDs because that's a common file in the industry. The other options are import as Toon Boom bitmap drawing, which is usually what I use to import references or props if I need to. The convert to Toon Boom vector drawing, this is if you have a drawing that was like in black and white and you wanted to scan it inside the computer, like it will transform the lines into vector lines, you know. We're not doing that today, so we're gonna keep as original bitmap. This is really important for backgrounds or things that you want to keep updated. And then for the alignment, we have 3 different rules. To know what they do, then again, go get the documentations and you will find the information right here with images. Like, I could spend 5 minutes explaining this to you, but you know, the images do it better than me. So by the way, the alignment rules, it works within the field guide of your scene. Like the thing you find here, not the camera, just so you know. So fit, pretty easy. It's gonna make your whole picture fit within the field guide. Pan will make only one side, either like left and right or top and bottom, fit your grid. And then the project resolution will just import it as your project resolution that you saved in your Photoshop file. So typically we use project resolution to import your images in your scene. And then for the transparency, you can also check the dot to get details. Honestly, 99% of the time you import it as straight, so that's what we're gonna do. It means that if your image has transparency, it will respect the transparency. Then you press OK, and then you have these options. In Create, you have individual layers, group as layer, or single layer. It's pretty easy. Single layer will just flatten everything into one layer, which is useful if you don't want to handle all the layers in Harmony. So if you don't have a multiplane, we'll just import as a single image, and it will be easier. Group as layer is the thing I talked to you before, where you have a group that contains, for example, all of the drawings of the hands. And then you have individual layers, which is what we need. So I'm gonna click on this, press OK, and then you'll have your background imported in your scene. So then, if you want to know how to handle a background in multiplane, you can check my multiplane video. I will not cover it today because you can just go check the other video. It's going to be quicker. So I'll just set this up like this. And then I'll take the top peg and just squash my background like this, so it fits my camera, like that. So don't forget to save, and now I'm going to show you what Harmony did to your Photoshop file. So in your folder of your scene, into the element folder, by the way, element folder is your layers, just saying. I imported it multiple times to record the video, so that's why I have so many folders. I'm going to check this one and get my Photoshop file here. And if I open it and I modify it, and then I save my Harmony file and reopen it, the update will take place. So I'm gonna go here, just draw a little smiley face, and then save it. And I'll go to Harmony, also going to save and reopen it. And there you go, you have the lovely little smiley face that appeared. Another difference between the original bitmap and the Toon Boom bitmap drawing is that when you import the original bitmap inside your camera view, if you are not in render, the quality will be ugly. But if I go to render, this is where I'll get the actual right painting. But in OpenGL, it always looks bad. This is because Harmony is trying to optimize your scene and allow you to work more efficiently, so it lowers the quality of your background. You can change that into the preferences, but honestly I forgot where it is because I never do that. So probably post like a guide or an image on my Discord, but like honestly I forgot how to do it, and we are out of time today. So I hope you had fun and that this will be helpful to you, and I'll see you again next week for more knowledge. Bye bye.